For the last 5 days, I've been releasing video every single day. Basically, I've taken a challenge in producing videos back to back every single day for 7 days. And today is day 5th. It's been going a little bit of challenging, but also interesting to do so, because it's not something that I'm kind of like, it's been really challenging and interesting to kind of just do a video every single day, fresh videos, and kind of releasing it on the same day. That's something I always wanted to do, basically challenging myself in order to be more productive and more effective with the content that I produce here. And as a result, I said, like, you know what, let's do a 7-day challenge and see how it goes. And it's been working really great. I do have an upcoming guest that's going to be here for next Thursday. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can see my next video. As I mentioned, I will be interviewing a business consultant and a film director and maker who has been in the industry of the entrepreneur for so many years here in Canada. And she's also been awarded as one of the 100 women to watch out for. I'm bringing in somebody that is very knowledgeable within the film and the business industry. So for those who are thinking of opening their own business or looking for business consultant and they're based in Canada, I highly advise you to tune in for next week content, because that's where I'll be releasing her video. So today I just want to share with you guys what is the point of me actually doing this 7-day week challenge on producing video every single day, edit and shoot and release it on the same day. It, as I mentioned, it's been challenging, but it's also been interesting. And as the day goes by, it's becoming easier and easier for me to do so. And I figure out ways and methods for me to be more effective. So here is just some things that is the result of me actually trying to get out of the bubble of habit, because I am a perfectionist, and being a perfectionist, a lot of times we run into, I'm a perfectionist, which means everything that I'm producing, I want to make sure that it's done correctly. I take a lot of time making the decision and the effort to actually release it. So one of the things that I realized, because of my perfectionist character, because of my perfectionism, I tend to hold on a lot of projects. It takes longer for it to be produced. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe maybe it's time for me to kind of find a different avenue and see how, if I were able to do it slightly less faster than normally I would do, and how does that gonna go? So here's some of the key things that I have learned along my 7-day journey. Today is day 5. That means there's still 2 more videos that are going to be released tomorrow and Saturday. So here's what I can say based on my little experience about the journey so far. So one thing I learned is a lot of times as to why we're not moving ahead. In order for you to move to the next level of yourself, to grow as an individual, to grow as a business owner, to grow as a blogger or content creator, you need to be able to realize what things that have been working and what things that are stopping you from growing further. And sometimes this stuff can actually cost you a lot of growth. And that is why doing this experiment is like I realized, and I started studying and being more self-aware of the things that I do. And I noticed that there are some useful things that I can be able to share with you guys as well. So one of the things is stop procrastinating. Different level to this. So depending on which type of person that you are, fit this category, that might be aligning it to you. So as I said, for me, as I said earlier, I'm a perfectionist. So as a perfectionist, we tend to be, if you're that type of person, you tend to be afraid to start any project. You get stressed out and stuck in the process because you want everything to look really well, and you take in so much time and actually delaying the process just because you want to make sure that every single detail is aligned, every single detail is intact, or else you're not going to release that project. And that's why it's actually, I do fall into that myself. And things that I learned in order for you to come out of that is you need to have a very clear mindset as to what exactly you want to get out of this project. Sometimes not every project is going to be 100%. At least if we get the 99% completion, then we can get it out there. Sometimes you need to even put yourself a timer, a time limit as to how long would you going to be spending in this project, or how long are you going to be spending in this particular task before you release it. Time sensitivity will help you kind of align and will help you to narrow down your focus, so that way you'll be able to release the project in time. And this 7-day challenge definitely kind of showed me like how powerful it is. I'll be able to produce a lot of content in under pressure, and also just kind of think on my feet. So I don't know, I'm delivering a lot of good quality along the way. So that's just something I can still continue on doing and actually see how it goes. The other thing I would say is the dreamer. So if you're the dreamer, you're the type of person who you live in your la la land a lot of times. And I would say I'm also that part of person. So you tend to be your mind tend to be, as a dreamer, your mind tends to be so full of ideas, so full of creativity. And as a creative person, that's where we kind of spend majority of the time. We want to dream, and we wanted to be able to produce things that are basically kind of not a lot of people are able to see that vision. And that's why we have that creativity in it, trait within us. And because of that, it will take a slightly longer for us to finish project, because we're still kind of daydreaming about how it's going to look like, what it's going to do, and what that project is essentially going to be. Especially if you want to produce a new business ideas or need to produce new content, you might be daydreaming of that content or that video project or that particular item that you wanted to release. However, that would also be the reason why you might procrastinate a lot, because you are basically in your head a lot of times. And in order for you to avoid being there, is you can downsize your idea with actions. So maybe every single idea that you have, put it in a bucket list. Maybe you can put like a priority, a mid-low, and a low priority. And that way you'll be able to also put some things into action. So test out some of your creativity, some of your ideas that you have in mind, some of those amazing things that you've been thinking about it. Put some of them into action and start releasing them little by little and see how it goes. And that's how you'll be able to tackle that. Last but not least is the avoider. So the avoider, it's a person who likes to basically not deal with things. They don't want to deal with the Jones. They don't want to deal with the John Doe and all. They'll rather just go through with the wave and not avoid all the problems in the world. I don't think I am falling so much in that category, because I tend to be the first two. So if you're an avoider who like to avoid problem or like to avoid actually creating things, it's going to be really hard for you to even move further in your life. And it's going to be harder for you to even level up as an individual, and level up in the sense of like becoming the better version of yourself. So I would highly suggest you to think of ways and find maybe like inspiration. And the reason being, sometimes we're avoiding things is because we're not inspired, or we're basically sitting in places that are not motivating enough for us to move forward. So maybe evaluate your circle, start reading books and things like that, and start changing your motive. If you're following people that are not inspiring you, maybe it's time for you to unfollow these people and start following new set of people in social media, because the content you're consuming in social media can also have a huge impact on yourself. So I would highly recommend you to start considering that as well. Spending your morning hours. If you're an avoider as well, I would say spending your morning hours doing the hard labor. So if you have a lot of tasks that are very hard to do, I would say as soon as you wake up, trying to tackle those, because that way you would start to kind of give yourself a mentality reward by saying, hey, you know what, I got rid of all these hard tasks. Now I have the smaller ones. I can like kind of take the time and actually getting it done at the end of the day. And that would kind of set you for success. The other key elements of actually leveling up yourself or becoming the best version of yourself, I would say, is changing your habits. What do I mean by changing habits? Changing habit, it can involve with a lot of things. So one of the things that I do in order for me to change my habits or to basically become a better version of myself, it's reading a lots of books. So some books could be like on finance, could be in personal development, or sometimes it could just be in a business inspiration, because these are things that I'm interested in. And other times I would even watch like YouTube videos on people that are already kind of like successful within the industry that I'm in, and I'm trying to learn from them. I always kind of keep myself learning, because I feel like they might know things that I don't know personally. So that's why I want to be able to kind of grasp on that as well. So reading lots of book is very highly recommended. If you got a chance, I would highly recommend you to start looking into those as well. And use your time very wisely. Time is a precious. You don't get it back, and it's the only thing that you cannot buy. And that's why it's very important for you to know how you're allocating your time and how much time you're investing in certain things. If you're investing your time basically watching Netflix as opposed to investing that time in kind of like bettering yourself, then you need to rethink your priorities straight. That's something that I could highly suggest you to start looking for it, to start looking into it. And then the other thing is set the priorities straight. And the other thing I would say also, in order for you to change your life habit, is also set priorities straight and focus on your life goals. If you have goals in mind, maybe this is the time where you need to allocate more of that, and also live a little. You gotta have fun. And when I meant by living a little and having fun while enjoying your new growth or your new you, it's by understanding the 20/80 rules, which means 20% of this thing that you do will bring in the 80% of your success. So if you know that about 20% of your time you're not allocating in things that are going to better you, you need to reevaluate your goals, and you need to be knowing that where are you allocating those times when you're not investing on it. And lastly, I would say invest in your future, regarding whether it's like getting an education towards it, money wise, or even just like evaluating and discovering things that within yourself, I would say. I hope this video was very valuable and you find a lot of good insight in it. And if you do, please make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can see my next video. As I mentioned, I will be interviewing a business consultant and a film director and maker who has been in the industry of the entrepreneur for so many years here in Canada, and she's also been awarded as one of the 100 women to watch out for. And this is somebody who's going to has a lot of valuable information you do not want to miss. So make sure to come back here next week, or if you're already watching this after it's been released, so you can see the link in the description below, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll try to bring more people like-minded, and so you can grow as an individual, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur or content creator. And I'll see you then. Bye, guys.